Hey, Javier.
Hey Sunny, how are you? Nice to
Good, how
meet
are
you.
you? Nice to meet you. And I'll tell you something
Very
funny
well.
before we start, because I was, like reading into like all these research, reading into you and your background, and I was kind of scrolling through your Instagram dough pizza, and I just accidentally saw my husband actually follows that account. And I was like, I sent him the account. I was like, why are you following this account? Because you're all the way in Chile, and we have no connections. And so he was like,
Exactly.
oh, I don't know. I'm just following like all the pizza account that I saw people make amazing pizzas. So he's just like in some way found your account and saw like all these amazing videos and pictures that
Thank
you
you.
post out there. Um, that actually leads me into one of my curiosity, because I was scrolling through all your Instagram feeds, and they're amazing pictures and they're like amazing videos. I just so professionally done. I was like in awe of it. Do you manage your own Instagram page, or do you have somebody done it for you?
Yeah, I'd love to to have somebody to manage it, but I have just began like 1 year and a half ago. That's it. So I still do a lot of things, and my main job is social media, like to sell my classes, to make the content, to record myself, and then to edit it. Like I do all the job. I studied this before, like when I was 18 years old. I studied 4 years on television and all these things that I learned to record and to edit and all those things. But of course, in the future, I want to have like my own team so I can um, be working in other parts of the business or just be teaching and other people making the content. But for now, I'm the one that, yeah, does the work.
So have you, like, how do you feel about like Instagram? Like, has it helped you in a way for your business? Because social media are so big right now, and
Mm,
our restaurant does a lot of marketing on Instagram or TikTok. So how do
right.
you feel? How has that helped your business?
Like my whole business works because of Instagram, because I don't have, for example, a website yet. I don't have time yet to manage a website or to design it yet. So everything is on Instagram. Actually, I don't have like a TikTok account because I don't have the time to manage it as well. But through Instagram is where people buy the classes and ask for questions and things, and they propose like me to do some pizza parties for some companies. Like everything is through Instagram. Like it's the platform that really has helped me to grow.
That's great. Yeah, I'm sure you're obviously doing something right, because my husband, like, randomly like saw your Instagram and just following it. So I love what you do. We're trying to do something similar with our Instagram account. And obviously we have some help from other people, because I'm not pictures and videos, not my profession. Um, and so you mentioned that that was you used to work, right? That was your old
Right.
profession, and obviously you switched
Yes.
your career paths.
Mm,
And I've read that you mentioned that you always loved making pizzas and pastas, and you take cooking classes for fun. So this is like almost like your passion and hobby. And
definitely.
like
Yes.
a lot of people at one point in their life wanted to make their passion and hobby into their career path, or something, like a successful business, and you've done it. And so a lot of people are scared of making that change, and
Mm.
it's amazing to see how you turn that into a successful business. And I'm just curious, like, has what made you like decide, okay, I'm going to take this risk. I'm just gonna leave my past in the past and start something new.
I mean, I like to say it was like my own decision, but actually it was just I finished some companies with a partner I had. So that led me to this, like to take a decision and to restart or begin like my life or my professional life again. So when I was asking myself like what do I do like now for a living? Like my own family pushed me to this. Like they were like, you have done this forever for fun. You can make this like a business or something. So it was them like that pushed me to do it. I was really, really scared. Like from all the things maybe I have worked on, this one's was like the one that most scared me because I thought like what my knowledge wasn't enough. Like people, you had to study so many years to begin something related to anything in kitchen or cooking something or whatever. So I was really scared of, but my family like pushed me to do it. And yeah, before I was in this work that you mentioned in television and with Live Nation Global. And I think I didn't tell Alexandra that day why I finished or why I like left that job. It's really funny, but it's really weird at the same time. It's because of Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses. He traumatized myself. Like it was so difficult to work with him. So I said, I'm leaving this. I'm not working anymore with any artist like in my life. And because after him, who was coming was Lady Gaga. So I really loved her, but I was really scared because of what people in the media said about her. So I was like, okay, if this guy is crazy, like this Lady Gaga maybe is worse. So I'm gonna leave this job. But after I knew from the person that replaced me that she was like the best. She was nothing like you see in
Yeah.
social media or in whatever people say. So yeah, I regretted that a little bit. But yeah, Axl Rose was like definitely the person that made me leave that work and I really liked to work in that before. What I did on cooking and other things was just for fun to make like a good plate in my house, and that was it. But I really liked what I did before, like television and all this concerts things. It was really fun, but I just collapsed with him. Yes.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned something I think that's important is just the support of your family members.
Right.
Especially when you start something new, you want
Mhm.
all the help, all the support you can get. So I think that's very important.
Mm.
Were there times where you like second guess your decision of switching to something new? Like, have you ever considered, maybe I'll just go back to my old career, like the production?
No. Yeah, I like to say maybe yes, but it was too much for me. Maybe because I was really young. Maybe because I was 18, 19 years old, and it was like a lot for me.
Mhm.
It was too much. So all the memories maybe I have are like they're not bad, but maybe they're not the best. So just on thinking on the idea on having that rhythm of life, which maybe today I have like a really strong rhythm. I work a lot. I really work a lot, but it's not the stress that I have in those days. Like today, I really love what I do. So even though maybe I sometimes get a little bit stressed or maybe it's I feel like overwhelmed. Um, I really love what I do now. So I think I wouldn't go back in any way. Like I closed that season in my life, and yeah, it was a really good thing. I really think I really matured like really fast because of that job. Because I had to be with 18 years old in charge of people that could be like my grandpa, you know,
Mhm.
um, and to find solutions for them every day when I didn't have solutions for myself. I was really young, so
Yeah. Yeah.
um, that made me mature like really fast. So I really like I prefer to stay like with the best, but I think I wouldn't go back again.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, doing something that you enjoy and then maybe you can also relate, especially working for yourself, like, you know, it sounds like good on paper, like, you're working with something that you're passionate about, like that people don't know, like, there's still stress related to that. But I guess the good thing is that,
Mm,
you're working for yourself. That's a different kind of stress, like, than when you're working for someone else. Like, my old profession, I was, accountant, that I was stressed out every single day. But
mm.
that's a completely different stress that I have right now, and the the stress that I have now, I'm enjoying it. You're like making something for yourself. So it's just it's a different, and I love it too. And so I know that, you've mentioned that you did a ton of study going into it, which I think is smart, like you really invested in yourself. And you mentioned that you even went all the way to Naples. And I was so interested to hear what your experience with Naples, because I did the AVPN with Atlanta class and I enjoyed that a lot. But I'm sure like it's a way different experience in Naples where,
Mm.
that's where everything started. So I'd love to hear your experience on that.
So that experience in Naples was like really special for different reasons. First, I went with my dad. He like wanted to be with me in that opportunity. So it was like a really fun trip for me. It wasn't by myself, so it was really cool. And when I didn't have like classes, actually I just made like a Neapolitan pizza maker for one day, but it was only by myself and it was like not 4 hours, it was like 9, 10 hours with Peter Surace was which was not like the teacher. It was really intense.
Mhm.
But I was like, okay, I don't have much time to go to Naples in that opportunity. So I wanna do something that I can be like I can really learn. So I asked if that opportunity like they could give me that opportunity to have it but like by myself. And they said yes, which I really appreciated. And so that day was really intense, but that trip was really awesome because I got to meet like a Neapolitan family, like pizza makers. One of them actually, Mino Panela, was like the pizza maker of the year in Las Vegas a couple of years ago. But he lives not in Naples, but he lives in Acherra, like right beside, like 30 minutes away. So in a really small town, which he's like the king, it's so much fun. And he took me to some museums about Pulcinella. He was like so generous on information, and I could have the opportunity to eat at a Neapolitan family, like a Sunday at dinner. It was so much fun. Like it was more than AVPN that trip for me. It was to get to know the culture, people, and of course to get to know a lot of pizzerias, of course, eat a lot of pizzas. Uh, but about the AVPN, it was intense. I really suggest people if they want to take the Neapolitan pizza maker and they can afford maybe to be by themselves, it's it's awesome because you just get to practice so much and it's just you. So you don't have time. It's one and another pizza like all day long. So that was my experience. It was really cool. It was different, of course, than Atlanta, which was more days, right? Uh, but I really liked it, like the whole experience. Not only when where I went to study, but getting to know Nino's family. And actually, when I went again in December, this past December, of course they took me to their house again. I spent like a lot of time with them. They're like asking me if I need something, if I need to go to another place, they take me. Like I really found really good friends over there.
That's amazing. I love that. Do they speak English when you went there, or were you like communicating with them in Italian? Do
Ah,
you speak Italian?
with some people in English, but with them, they just talk Neapolitan. And Martina is his wife.
Uh-huh.
We became friends really fast with her, really fast. And she speaks a little bit Spanish. So it's so funny because when we don't understand ourselves, we have to like Google it. And we find this the way to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
And when I have to say something to them, um she's like the one that is between us, you know. And
Yeah.
actually something really fun happened the first time I went there with my dad. He was having dinner with Nino's dad and Nino's uncle. So Nino's uncle speaks Italian and Nino's dad just speaks Neapolitan and my dad speaks English. So we were laughing so hard because we knew they were talking different things and they weren't understanding the conversation, but they were like thinking that they were having like a fluid conversation, and it wasn't like that. So I really had like really fun and moments over there. It was really, really cool the experience.
That's great. That's amazing. It just it sounds like something that's a once in a life experience that
Definitely, yes,
yeah. So I know I think with Dough Pizza it started with an idea, right, in 2020, and
right.
just about maybe 2, 3 years later, you started competing in like all these different competitions and actually getting place. And it sounds like your business also thrives, in just a very short amount of time. So what would you say that you think was the biggest contributor to like your success in your business?
That's a really good question. I think first, like I try to study, like I keep on studying. You know, I hope I will never think that I know everything or that I'm like okay with where I am. So maybe like I really want to get better in this. My life, for example, depends on this business and my family. So I really try to make things the best way that I can. And that is, of course, continuing on investing on studying. Like if I don't have time for example, going to a class because I have to give my own class, I will try to make that class online. So actually now I'm studying not on yeah, I'm studying on gelato, Italian gelato. I have been 2 months studying that online and marketing for like new tools on Instagram. So I think the first thing is like to never think you know everything. So you always want to learn new things and to keep on studying. Like I don't have a pizzeria, so I can be like practicing the whole time. So a competition for me is so much fun because it's a way to know like where I am or in what way I can get better because I don't have like the time to be making pizzas every day. So I think that's the first thing. Study or keep on learning on new techniques or new things that are coming up. And the second thing is like the team, to have a really good team. Um, Before I was a person that thought that I could do everything by myself, and that's why I made so many mistakes. So when I began to build a team, of course, building a team, I of course you know what that means. It's not easy, and at the beginning, there's a lot of people that come and then they leave, of course. But when you begin to have like a solid team, and like it's the best because you can do what you have to do and they are in charge of everything. So I think the only way to grow is to keep on studying and to have a team that can do what you're not able to, you know, because sometimes we want to do so many things and that's where our business gets like stuck and it doesn't grow. So yes, that's what I think.
Yeah, I actually really resonated with that when you say that you need a solid team to build everything. Like, because you can't do everything. When you start having people who like understand you, like have the you know, same vision as you to help you build your business, that makes everything so much more easier. I'm currently like trying to find the team for myself too at the restaurant. So,
Mm,
I can not be in the business, I can work on the business. Um, because if I'm at the restaurant 24/7, that takes so much of my time that I don't even
Yeah.
have time to look at the whole business of the big picture. And I'm just so pigeonholed into that one aspect of just being in the operation. Um, and like you said, there's so much trial and errors to find that person. There's obviously a lot of people coming
Mm.
in that never fits in the culture. I'm curious to see like what was your approach into like, finding somebody that's solid that, can also fit in your team's culture, which I think that's also very important.
Um, I mean, I always said before that I would never work with my family. Like I always said it. But since they were the ones that pushed me to do it, they were the ones that knew everything I did. Like, for example, at the beginning, where is the pizza peel? Where is the flour? How many flour? Everything. When I was just practicing, they began to see the tools I used, everything. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna begin to work with my family, but just for a while. And everything began to work really well. Of course, we have a lot of issues because it's your family, sometimes things get like you cannot separate it. So that was like a really hard part at the beginning, but I try to build like a system where we don't depend on many people. So I know working with people, with a lot of people, sometimes that's like the biggest issues you have in a company because people make the company, right? Work. So I try to make a system where I don't need people, I just need two. And the other ones, I call them just when I need them. For example, I make classes every day for 15 people. And for 15 people, I just need two people, which are part of my family. And when I have like, for example, 20 people or a pizza party for a company or something, I already have people that are my own students, which really like give not 100%, like 200% in this, just to learn about the business and everything. Actually, they asked me to work for free. Of course, I did not accept that. They work as everybody else, but that's like the amount of energy they have to work in this. But I don't have to work with them every day.
Yeah.
So just when I need them. So we don't have issues, we don't have any problem. And of course, if someone doesn't work for me, I will not call him again. But I don't have to fire him or have any problem with that. Like I just don't call you anymore. That's how it works for me. Um, because I know I ask for too much. Like my family always says like I ask for too much, but at the same time I give too much. So not everybody wants someone that is uh, on you every day, like asking you for the best and taking you to the limit. That's the way I am, but at the same time I give them a lot. I'm very I try to be aware if they are, for example, if they eat, they are okay. Like very, I treat them well, but at the same time, I ask for too much. So I know not everyone is gonna be happy with that for too long. So that's why I created a system where I just need two people, and the other ones know how to work, but just for certain events or certain dates or something. So yes.
No, I love that. I think that's really smart. Like, and obviously we're in the restaurant or, food industry where
Mhm.
cost obviously makes a difference. So
No, of course.
if you were able to find people only when you need them, I think that's amazing.
Yes,
Um,
that has helped me, yes, a lot, a lot, a lot, because as you said, if I had a restaurant or something, you cannot do that. But I try to create something where I didn't have those issues. Of course, if, for example, the two persons that work with me, if some of them like uh goes away or we have like a really big problem, yeah, then my business will get in problems because maybe because I don't have a lot of people working, everything is put in two people. So It's like something, it has good things, but maybe not that good thing, you know? But it's my family. My mom, for example, she works in all the administration part. It's my mom. I know she's not gonna ever take something away from me, and she controls everything, like the payments, the suppliers, like everything, everything. And I'm the one that brings the money. She administrates it and takes it, or gives it to the place we rent or something, and the people that works with us. She works in that part, and the other person is the person in charge of logistics. Like, it's this class, this people, we have to take this, we need to call this person that works with the brands, the wine, the different brands that work with us. She's in charge of working in that part. So I'm the one that sells. My mom is the one that administrates the company, and the other person is the one that sees like the logistics. So with the three of us is really, really like enough.
Yeah, that's great because I feel like with the workforce, that's one of mine, probably one of my biggest challenges in the restaurant industry. Just between, finding somebody that's reliable, that always shows up on time, or,
Right.
you're not scared of them not showing up the next day, or, just to have even enough people working for me, because I still even find times where me and my husband has to go to the restaurant, be a server, or like go wash the dishes because we just don't have enough people that day. And obviously, the business you got to run, and you just have to figure out a way to like make it work. And so I think that's has always been something that it gives me headaches from time to time,
Of
where
course.
I'm like, what do I do? And so
Right.
just I just really resonate when you say like you need a good team, that just makes everything so much easier. And I've had um restaurateurs that when we first opened that walk into the restaurant and told us, just you just have to suck it up until you find that right person. When you find the right team like to help you, it makes a huge difference. Like everything just seems so much
Right.
easier. And so
Yeah.
yeah, so I think it's amazing that you have a system that really works for you and your business. Um, and then I know you mentioned that you're taking gelato classes, and this is just my personal interest. Like, what courses are you taking online? Because we're also like doing gelato stuff at the restaurant, and we're just talking to some gelato consultant where it seems like something easy, but there's so much goes behind it, down to like how do you scoop the gelato?
Absolutely, yes. Well, here there is a consulting that it's an Italian that has worked in this industry of gelato like forever, and he came for a pizzeria to work, and he stayed in Chile, so he's like the only consultant in Chile of gelato. Like he's just amazing. Like his product is amazing, and he's so viral in Instagram and TikTok. Like everybody loves this guy because he doesn't speak well Spanish. So it's so much it's really funny to hear him, and he just is so creative with TikTok and Instagram, and makes this weird sometimes gelatos with typical Chilean food that they have nothing to do, but he makes it so it's really fun. And he makes like this professional gelato classes like that last like 5 days or something, and he makes like shorter classes for people that want to learn like the basic things, and that's it. So the kind of people that go to my class, half of them are people that they're just wanted to make things for their house at home. That's it. They're not willing to work in this or something. No. And the other half, like 30%, is people that want to do this. They want to do a business on pizza or gelato or whatever. And that 20%, is people that are already professional and want some new tips or new information to like make their process better or something. That's in pizza. So um, it's really easy for me to get to study new things because I don't have to become a great professional to teach someone to do something basic at home.
Mhm.
So I've been studying with this guy for 2 months, but trying to make his recipe for home for people to make it at home without any machine, nothing at all.
Oh,
So I try to think in that because that's why I take a long time to open a new class because I have to adapt the recipe and try it at home so I can guarantee it's going to work for them because I think there's nothing worse that you pay for a class and it works for the
right.
teacher and it doesn't work for you. So I take a long time for that. So I'm making that as well because gelato is getting very popular, right? Like everybody's want to learn and want to have gelato at the pizzerias and restaurants, like a really good product. Uh, so um, I just wanted to learn to make people have a great product at home. That's it. So whatever I learn, I don't have to spend much time learning because it's not like really professional people.
Yeah.
They just want a recipe that works at home. They just want to have a good time for 3 4 hours where they drink, they eat, they have fun, and
Yeah.
that's like the experience we offer. And when somebody is more professional, we have classes for people like that. It's more advanced, but they have to go first to the basic one so they can live the whole experience. And if they want to learn more, they can go to the other classes that I don't have on Instagram because if not, it's a little bit difficult to explain people that they have to go to the basic classes first. So that's like between us because we have had 1,300 people until January this year as students, but we have a group on WhatsApp that is 240 students. So they are like, they just love this thing. They're like crazy for pizza. They're crazy for pasta. So every new class that I announce, they fill the classes. So that lets me to work on the first class, to be with people that I already know, to fix it, to change it maybe for the next one. So the students that are like really fan of the brand, they really help to propose them. Like I asked them, what do you think if I make a gelato class? And they were like crazy. Like they're just asking for the class or the date. I don't have it yet because I'm not sure yet when I feel like really prepared. But they already make my job easier when I announce a new class, you know?
Yeah. Did you had the idea of doing the catering business first, or did you always had the idea of doing classes?
My first idea was just to make a brand for Instagram. I
Right.
didn't even appear. If you scroll down to the first pictures, my face didn't appear because since I didn't have like a really good experience on television before I really got exposed. I said I'm not gonna appear like ever in social media for anything. So at the beginning, it was just an Instagram with beautiful pictures of pizza, beautiful videos, just showing my hands, and that was it for me. Like I just wanted to maybe have a business on that, like make a brand on influencer without appearing someone. That's what I thought. But since of course you have to live on something, there was a family. I I will like forever remember them. A Venezuelan family, very close to my house, that wrote me like, "Hey, we have like it's my birthday tomorrow. Can you teach us a class on pizza for my family?" And I was like, "Okay, I can say no and continue this idea, or I can say yes and begin to do like a serious, like a real business." So I said yes without knowing what was I gonna teach. what were gonna do. I ran to a store, like a kitchen store, where I bought a lot of things for them, and that was my first class. And the following week, there was a family that was like a, a family here in Chile that is very known here, in this beauty business. So there was a daughter of her that was getting married. So it was like a bachelor party. It was really fun. And that was our first catering. Like she was like, okay, do you do catering? And I was like, yes, of course I do that thing. And I have never done it. So I just said yes. It was my first experience in August 2020. And then this began to work like, or in a very organic way. Like people began to write us, oh, do you do catering? Do you do classes? How many people do you need for a class? And it just began like that way. I never thought or imagined that this was gonna be our business. I just wanted to be like social media, and that was it.
That's so interesting that how everything just falls into its place. So when you started the catering business, were there a lot of catering like that going around in Chile, or did you kind of start
Mm.
something new for the industry?
There were a few. I didn't start with that, of course. There were a few, but they weren't a lot because people wasn't really used to have people at your house cooking for you.
Mhm.
Like here, it's so much the Uber Eats and all this delivery things, not too much this thing that people go to your house. So it began to like everybody wanted catering from one day to another. Before you didn't see that. So that's why catering is like my maybe third business. It's not like my main business because it's a lot of work to go to a place, bring things back. You need a second team. So I began to filter like the caterings and to ask for more. So I can go there, but to, like not leaving my other job. For example, now I can teach my classes because I have a main team, and if someone asks me for a catering, I have a second team of the students that go to that catering. So now I can have two activities in the same day at the same times. Sometimes we have like four classes in a day, and we have, for example, three caterings the same day. At first, I always said no, it was one or the other one. But now I can have both. But uh, at the same time, catering is not my main business. Like, it's not what I really love. I love teaching. I love classes. I love making pizza parties and making people happy. Catering is just to go to cook to a person's house. So it's not the same for me. You don't have the same interactions with people. It's not the same feeling. So it's like if it's a good business, I will say yes. If not, I will say no.
That's nice. Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to figure out, what you really enjoy to do and really making that a business. I think that's amazing. Um, are you still planning to go to the Pizza Expo coming up in Vegas this year? Nice. Well, hopefully
Yes,
I'll
I'm going.
meet you in person there because I think we're finally decided that we're gonna make it this year. We wanted
Ah,
to go
cool.
like for
Yes,
years
yes,
now. We never went out there. Are you still thinking about competing in that?
yes,
Oh, nice.
yes. I'm still wanting to compete. I wanted to compete in Pan Division as well, but when I wanted to sign myself, it was like sold out really fast. So I signed up in Neapolitan Division and in Pan Pizza, but with it's like an uni competition or something. I didn't see that before. I just saw Pan competition division, Pan Pizza competition at uni, and I was like, okay, so I can try myself in that new pizza that I'm working on. I'd love to see my results there to like see what works out. But yes, I'm competing in Neapolitan, like definitely, yes. I'm already signed up.
So you offer, you know, different styles of pizza, right? You know Neapolitan, you
Mm.
also know like Roma, I think Sicilian maybe. Which one is your
Yes.
favorite?
Mm. And now I really, really, really love Romana.
Roma?
Like I really love it. Yes, I'm like obsessed with it. Um, yeah, I love it. I really love
Is
it.
it
Yes,
more, is it
I
more
make
of
a
the,
lot of classes.
is it more of the flavors
Hmm?
or the way you make it that you enjoy so much?
Yeah, it's when you eat it. Like it's crunchy. It's very light. You can put more amount of ingredients sometimes for a slice because it's a slice that holds itself. So yeah, but it's like the crunchiness. It's very light. I really like it. I enjoy it a lot.
That's great.
But maybe it's some seasons, you know? At the
Yeah,
beginning it was only Napoletana.
yeah, yeah.
Then I was just loving New York pizza, then Roman pizza. So maybe it's part of the journey to when you learn something, you just get sometimes a little bit obsessed with something and you want to eat it like every day. So that's happening with me now with the Romana, but
Yeah.
like every pizza is different and special. And the best thing is that like uh it's different for everyone. Like when you don't like something, maybe another person will like it and the other way around. So yeah, I really like to learn like new styles of pizza. And I'm learning now on contemporary. I really didn't want to get to this point at the beginning because I was so traditional on Neapolitan pizza. I'm not gonna bake Biga or Polish, and now I'm on that because people began to ask for it. Like we want to learn on contemporary pizza, Canotto style this pizza. So now I'm learning on that so people can have a class of that and they really like it. It's really famous like the contemporary Neapolitan pizza here in Santiago right now. Everybody wants to know. So if it's a business, you have to be ready.
I love how like you're able to, you know, just learn something and then in turn be able to teach it to other people. I think that's a kind of a talent on itself. I mean, I've tried to obviously take that AVPN class in Atlanta. But I'm guilty to say like I still haven't perfection how to make Neapolitan pizza. I have not. I'm just guilty of not practicing enough. So I think it's very like inspirational that you're able to like, you know, really like practice all of the skills that you learn and evenly, you know, able to compete in competitions. So I think that's really good. Um, yeah. And so
Thank you. So how was your experience at AVPN in Atlanta? I would like to know if it was your first time studying something related to Neapolitan pizza over there. How was your experience? Did that like lead you to begin your business or before that you already began to make pizza? Like,
yeah, so by the time I went to that class, you know, we already have the pizzeria going, and that's one of the reasons that I love that there's such a thing called consultant because I did not know that there were a
mm.
pizza consultant. So I actually started my business when, you know, one of my friends was like, are you, you know, he's like, are you still interested in making pizza? Because I just met this pizza consultant. Do you want to talk to him? So that's how we started. Like we were talking to this pizza consultant and we were talking to
Mm,
some other like pizzeria owners and just kind of get an idea of, you know, what is Neapolitan pizza? Because me and my husband, we had Neapolitan pizza first when we moved to Atlanta, and we just, you know, fall in love with that style of pizza, more than any of the other styles that we had before. And so we were really looking into like doing Neapolitan pizza. And so we met the pizza consultant, you know, talking to different restaurant owners and just because none of us have any restaurant experience. So it was new to the restaurant industry, new to the pizza industry, and new to the Neapolitan world. And so we're just getting a lot of informations from them, and just a lot of them are like more pizza related. A lot of them are just general business information that can we even make this work? Because we're investing so much
Mm,
into it to open an
right.
actual restaurant, and so I'd say we've learned a lot along the way from different people. And so when I took the class, I had some, general knowledge of the industry, the pizza, but it was nothing that very like technical or like, very, very concentrated. So when we took the class, so I took the class first, and then my husband actually went there too, taking the same classes. It was very like informative. It's almost like connecting the dots of the knowledge that we've learned before from the consultant, the different people we're talking to, and so it kind of helped me like make sense of a lot of these things that we've kind of heard before. So it was very good for me to like kind of like put that all that knowledge together, and just really
Mm,
learn what is Neapolitan pizza, like what's the hydration, like why the dough are this kind of, because when operating I think I started the business when we're 4 or 5 months into the opening the restaurant. So I had a lot of question myself where, I actually went into class every single day asking JC like why is our
mm.
pizza looking this way? Why is yours looking that way? Like what are we doing wrong? Like, why do we have so many black dots like on the pizza crust? Like, what is that? So like I think in that way, like it was really helping me where I was, in the restaurant business where I've already started you know, doing like this trial and error with the pizzas over at the restaurant, and then also learning what is the proper way of making it. So it was very like
Mm.
useful for me in that way. And it just I'm also like just be able to finally say like I own a Neapolitan pizza, and now I know how to make Neapolitan pizza instead of before. It was just like why, like customer will come in and be like, why are you opening a pizza restaurant? So like you can finally say like, yeah, yeah, I'm a certified pizza you. That's nice too. um yeah,
That's
so
really cool. So, is there any exact moment that you remember that made you take this decision? The one that you're like telling me? Like a
I
moment, a thought, or a conversation with your husband, maybe? Like, it's a big decision to change your life that way. So, maybe it's funny as you're telling me, but at the same time, it's a big, big decision, maybe for your family and friends and everyone. So, is there a specific moment when you just said, "I'm gonna do this"?
to go to the restaurant industry.
Yes.
um yeah, so I just I at first I didn't know it was, moving into the restaurant industry. It was just a general concern of mine, like I did not love what I do. And it was me like every single day waking up in the morning and say, like, do I want to do this for the rest of my life? And when you're having that kind of doubt every single day, like I kind of knew
Mm,
that, it wasn't for me. Like I did not enjoy doing accounting. Like I just see myself always eventually gonna move to something else. I just didn't know what that was. And so, I was just constantly asking myself, like, what do I want to do? If I'm not doing accounting, like, I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, I want to go do something else. Like, so one day, like, I think it was just, I can't remember, I was scrolling on Instagram or somewhere, like, I just see, like, people who, like, I think I saw somebody's Instagram where she was, opening up her restaurant, and was just her journey of, doing all these different things, where it was kind of intrigued for me. I'm like, I think I can probably do that too. Like that looks very interesting.
Mm.
So it's kind of planted the seed in my head, but I was still like, it's still a big risk to take to open the actual pizza restaurant where I've had no experience in that at all. And so it wasn't until I got pregnant with my first baby and my husband was like, like, do you really want to have your whole pregnancy like just being so stressed out and not enjoy what you do, or maybe it's time that for you to actually move on to what you love. And then it's funny because I think sometimes, like you said, everything just kind of fall into its place, like everything just worked out on its own. That's actually when I first heard the idea of the pizza consultant. So it was just like, this happened and my husband was like, why don't you make a change? And my friends was like, you want to talk to this pizza consultant? It just feels like everything like all happened at once, like that helped me make that decision. And so I was like, okay, now that I potentially know a way to know how to make pizza, maybe let's look into it. And so we started talking to the pizza consultant and feel like we were comfortable with moving forward. So I then just quit my job and we just started this. So it's funny how
Wow.
everything kind of just aligns itself. But it was definitely a big risk. But I feel like sometimes you just can't look too much into it. Sometimes you just have to say like I just want to do it because if
Mm.
you're analyzing it too much, you're never gonna make the change because there's always gonna be things that scares you and not make you do what you think you want to do. So, um, I still don't know if we made it yet. Like, the restaurant industry is hard. Like, we're on our second year. There's, still a lot of problem that we have to solve for the restaurant. But right now I'm just proud that we actually did it, have the restaurant open. It's in the running. So we'll do whatever we can to make it work, make it successful.
Wow, that's really amazing and brave of your part. So I was reading part of your story and Woman in Pizza Instagram, and there was something that I was wondering, like you mentioned your parents as people that really supported you, your decision and everything. They helped you, but you mentioned other people that you received like help from. Were there people from the industry or people from your work or something or your family as well?
Yeah, so I mentioned that we were talking to like visa consultants and restaurant owners, and they were, I feel like especially people in the industry, like when they know that you're trying to start something new, like they're very like welcoming. Like, even when I mentioned that when we first opened, we would have other restaurateurs coming in the restaurant and they would talk to you and you express like in your concerns and they'd be like,
Mm,
no, don't worry, like this is what we did. And they would give you advice and just trying to help because I don't know, maybe because how hard the industry is, like I just felt like
mhm,
they nobody really feel like you're in competition with them necessarily because the industry is hard on its own. Like if you aren't gonna make it, you
mm,
aren't gonna make it. And so we've in the beginning had another owner from a different pizza restaurant in Indiana, which helped us a ton. That he would just like willing to share his experience. Like he, we went to his pizzeria and he showed us like their operations, and he like had one of their pizza euros to kind of just teach us what they do on a daily basis, like making a
wow.
dough or how they like turn the pizza out for like their each orders and just kind of show us around. And it's just I felt very supported by like other people in the industry. And so I think
Mm,
that's just, I don't know if I got lucky or that's just how the industry is, but I've that whole experience just kind of make me feel like like, in a way, like, push me into, like, keep doing it because I feel like, you're
mm,
getting, like, support, like, you're getting support from not only your families, but other people, like, it's a good feeling, like, it makes me feel like I do have a way of breaking into the business, so, um, I think
mm,
that was a great experience that we had.
mm. Wow, that's really amazing and inspiring because not every industry maybe works that way. Uh, Maybe I'm lucky as you are because I've really found people that have helped me, like just just to help me, like for nothing, um, asking for nothing, you know. So it has been a good experience, and I'm very glad that it has been a really good experience for you as well.
Mhm.
So there's something that you mentioned as well about like what uh, you would love people to feel at your restaurant is to have like a really good experience. So, what for you is a good experience at a restaurant? Or, for example, thinking for other women in pizza who want to deliver a great experience, what is that for you? Like a really good experience at a pizza restaurant?
Yeah, so for me, going to a restaurant is always going to be like, it's restaurant in a way, it's a place that you can escape from your outside problems, right? Like when you are going to a restaurant, whether it's with your family or your friends, you're going there to have a good time, whether it's enjoying the food.
Mm,
And I think now, even more so than before, it's just it's the whole experience, the environment, it's the service, it's the food. And so it's
mm,
for me, a really good restaurant would be when I walk into the door. It makes me forget all my problems where I had in my life. It just like, it will probably
mm,
like make you feel like you. So when I created my restaurant, I want people to walk into the door feel like they're somewhere else. They're not in Atlanta, Georgia. They transported to like, I don't know, Italy, wherever you want that place to be, but I want you to have a good time that you're not thinking about your problem in the outside world. And to me, I think that's a successful restaurant. And there
mm,
honestly like a handful of great experience that I have, or a handful of restaurant in Atlanta where it makes me feel that way. Like I can just walk into the door and just immediately feel like I'm somewhere else. Like, I'm just enjoying my time with my friends and my family versus like, you just go into the restaurant, you're like, no, I spent my money, but I'm not getting my food on time. I'm not getting a good experience. Like I'm not getting a good service. And I think, I don't, maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's, social media that people just have a higher expectations for restaurant now than before. Where
mm,
versus I think before it's more so like I'm going there to get good food, but now it's like I'm going there like in additional to good food, what else do you offer that wants me to actually go into the restaurant to eat? Because I can order delivery, and then I can eat it at the
yeah.
comfort of my house. Like, why do you want me to make an effort to go into a restaurant? And so to me it has to be everything. um and I think that maybe that's what makes it hard, especially hard for the restaurant right now, is because you have to be on it for every single aspect, not just a good food.
Mm. That's really cool. So it has been 2 years, right, since the restaurant opened? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's been a year and a half now,
A
since the
year and a
restaurant.
half. Okay, so could you describe maybe in just one word how this year and a half has been for you? For like, how do you feel about the restaurant? Like in this 1.5 year?
um well, how does it feel for me? I'm happy.
For
So
you, yes.
so
Happy.
that
Happy is the word,
yeah,
okay?
yeah. So that's I couldn't ask for more. In term of restaurant wise, it's just crazy. So like it's 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 restaurant industry. It's a lot of work. Like in the beginning, I was there. We opened 6 days a week. I was there 6 days a week. I was there before we opened. I was the last to leave, and um, I did that for almost a year, and then um, I got pregnant again. So it was crazy another way. Like obviously,
Mm.
I don't know if it's a smart idea of getting pregnant. You're going into your second year of the business, because we're not able to be there all the time, but also kind of forced me to step back from the business a little bit. Kind of forced me to think, okay,
Mm,
now that you have to go find someone else to help you work on the business. So it's it it's good in a way, but also like maybe not the best decision in a way because I think in the first maybe 2 3 years it's really crucial for me to like be there at the restaurant, kind of establish the culture and to really build it to
mm,
where I want to be. But life happens, so it's been a crazy ride. Every single day there's something else. Like, you know, yesterday could be the walk-in are out of, there's no power in the out walk-in. Like you're like, what am I gonna do? Like all of my food are all of my inventories are in there. Like I still have to open the next day. I think we had one day where half of the restaurants out of electric and we're like, well, glad we have a wood fire oven that doesn't require the electric turn on. So I mean, we literally have customers in the restaurant. They're like, "Oh, is the oven still working?" We're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't worry, the oven still works." So it just, I mean, every single day is something new. Even like in the beginning, like we had a GM who just ghosted us like a month into the business. So like we just have to like figure out everything on our own. So like I mean, but everything like I said, when you're working for yourself, all the stress seems different than when you're working
mm,
for another person. Like this is for you, like you're trying to make something for yourself. So like it's stressful, but it's also like exciting at the same time. So I mean for me it's all worth it.
mm.
Yeah.
So for you, yeah, you feel happy about it, but it has been like a crazy ride
Yeah.
and like a big sacrifice for you to become this businesswoman and a mom, right? At the same
Yeah.
time, I think that's a lot, but like I think that's just amazing. Like to begin a business like that and just having a child and then becoming pregnant again, it's a lot. So you just have to be so proud of yourself. Like I really think your story is amazing. Sorry,
Thank
that's
you.
my cat.
Yeah.
That's my daughter. That's my daughter.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
Okay, so how do you see your restaurant not in 5 years, just in 2 years? Like, what do you expect to be in 2 more years? Since it has been only 1 year and a half, maybe 2 years, where do you think you're gonna be? You wanna open a new restaurant, or I don't know, like build a solid team as we were
Yeah.
talking about? What will make you be very satisfied in 2 years from now
Yeah,
as a
so
businesswoman?
I think my top priority right now is to be able to have this restaurant kind of self-sufficient. So, you know, to like as you mentioned that building a good team where I don't have to be there all the time. They know what they're doing and building a good process where the whoever is the GM can just follow that process and be able to like still control the quantity of the food, the quantity of the quality of the food and the quality of the service without me being there all the time. And so I think if we were able to achieve that, that'll make me really happy. That'll make me feel good to like, expand my business somewhere else, like, open another location or
Mm,
just do something else. So I
mm,
think that's my top priority right now. In addition to still like a obviously marketing is a big thing. Like we're such a new business to build a loyal customer base, and still be able to get new customer in the door and try us to stay loyal to us. I think that's another goal of
mm,
mine. Um,
right.
Obviously we'll have to make a sale to stay in the business. So to like get that sales number up. Um, Also like the just the like operational, all the process. Just I think that to just really build a good foundation for the business so the business can, be having a longevity that could run like 20, 30 years. To just kind of sustain on its own without me. Like it's almost the same concept as where you started your Instagram page. You didn't want to show your face. Like I don't want me to be
Mm,
reason that the restaurant it can't be just all involved about me. The restaurant has to be the restaurant itself. It has to
yeah.
be the brand of its own, not involving me, like around me. Um, so I think that that's my biggest goal is to just be able to get myself out of the day-to-day business operation and have it be able to run on its own. I think it would be
Mm,
my top priority for the next 2 years.
yeah, that would be really good. I'm sure you're gonna achieve it and make it, and we will be talking about the same thing maybe in 2 more years.
Yeah, fingers
um,
crossed.
okay, so I just want to thank you for this conversation. It has been so much fun. Uh, you're so nice. Your story is really amazing and inspiring. I was really willing to have this conversation. So thank you very much. Thank you for your questions as well. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, this has been
so cool.
yeah, this has been really fun. Like I always love to learn, how other people have started their own thing, like have how they made their into a successful business. And obviously, I consider you already have a really success business built for yourself. And I think what you've done, it's really unique and it's really interesting. And the way that you're building your business is also very smart. And so I just love to get to know your whole love to get to know you and love to get to know your business. And I'm excited to actually meet you in person in Vegas. And
Yes, me too.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
it'll be so
it's
much
really
fun.
fun. Yeah, yeah. Thank you
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you. Have a
Yeah,
great day.
have a
Mhm.
good weekend.